Hey, welcome. Oh my gosh, Shonda. Welcome to Wholesale Hotties. The show where
Rudolph the
ladies
red-nosed
in real
reindeer is
estate are
joining us
talking about
today.
real estate. Oh Lord, that's crazy. I'm Sherry Smith. I'm your host for this evening. I'm joining you from freezing cold New Hampshire. Joining me as well is Donda Mullinex, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, and Monique Bell and Kate Gomes. Welcome. Hey girls, how are you this week?
Hi, ladies. That was a good one, Donda.
Trying to keep things alive on here, right?
Yes.
That's right. That's awesome. Yes, it is holiday season, so it's a fun time to be getting dressed up and doing different things and whatnot. Kate's over in Joshua Tree, and
Haven't showered in 2 days.
in Washington. Nice. Everybody's traveling, doing the thing. So this week, what were we talking about, girls? We were going to talk about raising private capital. So who wants to start? Monique, you've been working on different stuff. What do you do? What are you, working on? How are you raising capital? What's going on in your world?
It's about word of mouth predominantly and building relationships and spending time with people who don't know what to do with money, that they have, they don't know where to invest their money. And so it was like, where do we go? What do we do? And they're asking me questions because I am in that world and I know a little bit about how to invest money and where to invest it. Plus, I have projects that I'm working on at all times that I can help them kind of put some money in, get some return on their money, that sort of thing. It's super important to, I think, just be talking to people and sharing with people the things that we're working on and the things that other people that we know. We're so integrated in different groups that are being successful in real estate and being able to, like, for instance, I also own a water restoration company. So I have a lot of people that are in the home service business and they're making money and they're putting it away. Do they put it in the stock market? Do they put their money, that they're getting is someplace else, or they invest it in something else? They don't know where to invest it or what to do with it, and they could lose their shirts. So being able to be that catalyst or that person that says, hey, there are other ways to invest your money than just the stock market, because real estate, we all know, grows so well over time. You're less likely to lose your money, in my opinion, and in real estate than anywhere else. And you can grow it, especially those who want to do it for long term. They don't want to shoot out their money and have it back in a month or 2 months. They're like, I got this money, I don't know where to put it for long term, so I don't have to think about it anymore. Instead of the institutions that are only going to give them a 2% return, we can give them a 10% or 12% return, depending on the project itself. Actually, sometimes less, sometimes more, depending on the different projects that are going on and the different operators that are running the projects. We got, Tim Bratz in our back pocket, that he's done big things and always raising capital for his apartments or his complexes that he's, multifamilies that he's buying, and Mark Evans and Pace Morby. They're all doing big things that we are a part of and can raise money and put money into. And now we have the opportunity to do that for other people that we are close to, or that we know, or that we're vetting. And so that's kind of been my experience. There have been a couple times that you run across some people that really that are looking for funds, but it's important to vet that and making sure that their projects are really underwritten by us ourselves, so that we understand them well enough to know where to, where to best put the money and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not the end all be all. I definitely have a lot to learn still, but I know enough that I can really help different individuals who have come into my life that, hey, I don't know what to do with my money. What do you recommend?
Monique, have you raised capital for your own project?
Oh, you both broke up so much. Say that again.
Have you raised capital for your own projects, Monique?
Yes, we have actually right now, we have a land project that we're working on that we're going to be putting
Oh,
4 different fourplexes on it. And it's running around,
wow.
by the time we're done getting it, all the raising the capital, it's going to be about a $3 to $4 million project. So we are raising money for that. We have another lake house
And
property.
when you say we, who is that? Is there a group of you? Is it you and the partner, or?
So my brother is my business partner in most every endeavor that I do. So he does a lot of the work with the underwriting and that sort of thing, and the projections of what we're going to do with the real estate or with the construction. So in my water restoration company, he takes care of all the construction end of everything. I know construction, I can do it, but I just find that as a female, I prefer to have a male running that firsthand because I get more respect from other men when I have a male beside me. So it's nice to have my brother as my business partner. And so he works with me. We also have a few other people that we collaborate with in some projects. Each project is different. Sometimes it'll be just the two of us. Sometimes we'll bring somebody else in, or 3 or 4 other people. Sometimes we have people who want to invest money in our project, and they would come in as either just, hey, I just want to infuse some money in there. I don't want nothing to do with it. I just want to either learn, or I just want to put my money there and park it. I don't want to worry about it. Or maybe they want to be partner with us. They want to contribute more than just money or something else into the project. So we always have something going on usually that we can personally also infuse people into that project. And we write up, all the goods, the ROI and what can be brought to the table with that. And this particular project, the land project, is a longer term 2-year project versus the lake house that we're working on is more like a year long project. And getting that funded through the just the repairs, that sort of thing.
Is the
Um,
lake house remodel that you're working on, or what is the lake house?
so that project is kind of a situation where we are taking the project that was already a little bit remodeled, needs to be remodeled, remodeled, and put back on the market. So yeah, that one will be a like a fix and flip, but it's a luxury type of property, so it'll take a little bit longer than like a month or 2 month long project of fix and flip. So those ones are quick money, throw money in, throw money out.
Yeah.
Whereas the lake project's a little bit longer, and then the land project is even longer. And then we have another lake property that we're going to turn into a corporate housing. So that would be something we'd want to partner with somebody with. We already have the project pretty much finished, and we were going to sell it, but with the market shifts and everything, we decided to maybe make it into either co-living or corporate. We're working on that right now, structuring corporate living for that property. And then we're refinancing it, so we can either refinance it with a institutional or a hard money or a long-term PML or a partner.
Oh, you have a lot going on, Monique.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, and then we have the water restoration company that we're doing all the construction. So we had like 50 homes that had trees fallen on their homes last month through all the storms that came through Washington, and we're trying to keep up with all those people that they're displaced now in their homes, and so doing all the construction for that. That's different. We don't do the raising capital for that project.
So do you attack the capital raising differently for different projects, or is it basically all just a matter of knowing people and talking to people, and that's all you do? I mean, it sounds easy.
I think there are many, many different ways to attack raising capital. It's not just about knowing people. It's about knowing people who know people as well, and talking about the projects, and people ask you questions. So each project is a little bit different and a little bit differently approached. And it doesn't mean that I'm out there thinking, oh, I'm going to approach it this way and I've got it all mapped out for each project, because each project that comes in could be different. And it's just a matter of almost organically coming into play of, hey, these are some ways that we can look for funding for this. Do we want to? Do we not want to? And sometimes just kind of falls into that place like, no, we're going to do it this way. And then it's like somebody comes in and says, hey, I want to be a part of that project. And we're like, okay, let's switch. Let's pivot. It doesn't have to necessarily be we have to do it this way type of thing.
I think that's one of the beauties of what we do, is being able to and change as different things come up. There's always something that comes up. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh yeah.
Like, I swear, project I'm on, there's always something that happens. So I love that. I had so many questions and I lost some of them. What else do you got going on?
Well, one
What
of
have
the
you been
most
working
important
on?
things I think to do is when you're talking to people about capital and about investing is share with them, number one, the projects that the problems that have occurred, the problems that can occur, and different ways that you're able to tackle that. So you build that trust and they know that you're a perfectly capable operator of taking care of anything that may come that way. Because you don't know when you're getting a permit, city could throw you something at you. You just don't know, right, Tonda? You ran into some of that. You just don't know what's going to happen and what they're going to do, and they're going to come at you with something. And if you have the ability to, and it's educating these, they don't know where to put their money. People don't know they've got their money in the IRA, and it's like you realize you could put this in a self-directed IRA, and you could make more money, and your money gets to go wherever you want to place it. Versus, and that money comes back into your IRA. Then now you can invest even more money versus allowing somebody else to just run it at the lower interest rate. You can gain so much more through a self-directed IRA. And then when there's different problems that come up, they are able to trust and know that you're going to be able to handle every problem that comes your way, because you never know.
So when you're talking to people and you're introducing the idea of self-directed IRA or slow 401k or any of those things, how is that, for lack of a better word, how does that pitch go for you?
That's a very good question, Sharon. And I don't know that I have, like, this is my script that I follow, as much as it's very organic conversation. Sure. And it happens to be about somebody's talking about investing their money and they've got it in a mutual fund and they're not happy with it. So guess what? There's other options. And then I have a specific company. I don't have it in front of me, that you can, I'll put it on my website, that you can actually work with, that you can make your, so you can go to any company you want to get put together an IRA, but there's only certain specific companies that can do self-directed IRAs. So if you want a self-directed IRA, I've got a company that I work with, and they will educate and train and teach individuals. Here's how you can structure your IRA. Here's your options, and then they can put their money in there, and it can be allotted wherever they want.
So you basically kind of do a referral over to the company that you've worked with before. So like I used to work with us, it's now Inspira. So yes, I understand who there's different ones that do self-directed. So is that where you're doing? Is it just kind of making that handoff to them? And then, hey, once you're all set up, give me a call and we can talk about what projects I'm working on, that type of a thing?
Definitely. I mean, we definitely talk about the projects ahead of time so they're aware of what's available. But the best thing to do is, these guys are the experts in putting together self-directed IRA. I'm not. I have one and I can put one, I know what I'm doing, but I'm not versed in the actual process, and I'm not a company that runs.
And if you do it wrong, there can be big tax consequences. So
yeah, and they're amazing with the way that they direct people and they guide them, and they can keep everything really, really tight for them, so that they don't have to think, oh, I'm on my own. You're not on your own. You got a company behind you.
Yeah, and that was what I was getting at, Monique. So so these companies specialize in helping these people transfer in such a way, to Kate's point, that isn't going to cause taxable events, and transfer money from existing mutual funds or certain 401ks or certain IRAs in certain increments or whatever, to get it into a self-directed IRA. And then they can use that to invest in different all kinds of different things, really, but different real estate projects. That's what we're talking about. Yeah.
Very well said, Sharon. You put that into layman terms so well. I really love the way that you explain that. You're exactly right. Transferring is a very important part of that. Transferring their current IRA over to a self-directed is like people are like throw up their hands. I don't know how to do that, but guess what? We have somebody who can do it,
Yeah.
show you and take care of you and make sure that it's done in a way that you will
Right.
have the best.
Right. Me, it's the pros. Let me give you their name, right? Exactly.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, like Kate said too, just to make sure you do it right for the tax implications, because there's so many taxes and so many things out there that none of us are, until you get in this and start doing it, we make a lot of mistakes and we learn the hard way. It's better to get that right person to teach you so that you don't make those mistakes and you actually find the tax benefits of these things you can invest in real estate, because there's a lot of tax benefits when you do invest in real estate as well. But yeah, you definitely want to talk to
the way that we all do it, and I know because we've all talked about this, is we collaborate. That's such an important factor. And I think women, especially men, nothing against you. You guys are super amazing and I'm glad to have you in our lives, but women love to collaborate and we do it well. And we are able to share and we don't have to have 100% of the piece of the pie. We're willing to give away so much of it so that we can collaborate, build more, bigger, better, and use more brain power from more of us in order to grow in different areas. And being able to do that is huge, and be able to really working together on a project.
Then on that note, Monique, I know a lot of people are connectors and then there's people who are capital raisers. Do you use either of those or both, or you just raise all of your own capital?
I do a little bit of both. So I've been a connector and I've also raised capital, not like extreme amounts, but for my own projects and then for other people's projects. I can't say I like one over the other at this point in time in my life, but I'm sure it will become more apparent as I see what's more advantageous in the sense of what I enjoy mostly doing. I really like connecting because part of it is there's so many people that want to do their own thing, and just saying, hey, I know this, I know that, and I don't have to be in the middle of everything. It doesn't have to be my projects. They already kind of have an idea, some people do, what they want to do with their funds, and then I can just kind of help them guide them in that direction. I don't have to do it for them if they don't want that. They want to be more in control or whatever that looks like for them, or they want to be more involved in the project. Raising capital, is more for specific projects, whether it be mine or somebody I know really well, and I believe in them and I believe in the projects and I know that they'll be successful. But there's so many real estate projects out there that, especially with the group that we run with, so many people are always looking for capital to raise or to put into their projects, and we can always find something.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then Pace has just talked recently too about that fractional. There's that site called Fractional that is builds people together too for doing projects. So that's another.
What is that? That's a website?
Called Fractional. Yeah. Yeah. It's a website. One of the sub 2 students, she created it. And Pace has been doing a raising capital series, and she came in and introduced it. It's pretty interesting. It's kind of like a Facebook for investors. I would almost describe it. I guess.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to have to take a look at that. It's just fractional.com.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. It was really interesting. She did a really good job getting it designed and created. And it's, I know Abraham Gray uses it, and Alexa. What's her? Alexa Morgan. They've been like teaming up and using that for a lot of their stuff to put it out there. It's pretty interesting haven't got into it a whole lot, but yeah.
Do you think that's like a connector website? Is that like the label?
Basically.
I'm confused on where connector ends and capital raiser begins and within our group.
Yeah, I think the connector, it's more of a connecting site where you can get on there and then you can go look at the ones and kind of become friends with these and kind of watch the projects they're doing. And when they have another one that comes up that they're raising funds for, you can get involved in how that works. She explained it, but it's I got to dial into it a little more. It's not just, cut and dry. You got to kind of understand it because you put your money, you commit to a deal. And then if the deal doesn't go together, you can they can keep your funds for the next deal if you want that, or there's some stuff you need to research and stuff, but it was really, it's definitely something like it's a connecting system. Yeah, I would say for sure. And and like Monique was saying, it's just, you got to, talking to people is really key in what you're doing. And like having conversations, like she said, that a lot of people just go like, yeah, I got this money, or I inherited this, or we sold a business, I don't know what to do with it. And there's, directing them to something like that, or to a project that you're doing, since if you already know them and they trust you and they hear what you're doing, they might want to invest. There's fix and flipping, buy and holding, you got sub-2 and creative deals. Some people just, there's so much opportunity out there. And of course, like we talked, the tax benefits in real estate too. So being a partner, it could be very beneficial depending on what your situation is. For somebody I bought property from a retired gal who didn't want to have to pay all of her, capital gains. And it was a monthly income for her until she passed away. And then it was set up in a trust where the funds continue to make those payments, and the funds were dispersed per the trust. So there's just so much out there for people that don't know what to do with their money. It's just ask people, talk to them, get educated, and it's one way of getting into the real estate investing game with actually not having to go out and actually fix and flip a house or build a house. So there's lots of different ways.
Yeah. I think to your point, Kate, there's a difference in that connectors will really connect anybody, right? So like I do a lot of connecting where I've got buyers and flippers that need contractors. And so I do a lot of time talking to contractors, kind of vetting them and making those connections. Or
are you getting paid?
That type of thing.
Connectors, Sharon,
sometimes it depends. A lot of times though, my repeat buyers, I just provide it as a service.
Yeah.
In my mind, as a customers are the buyers, and the wholesalers miss that, right? And so I provide those type of connections to my buyers just as right? Deal. Oh, I need.
Is Sharon cutting out, or is that on my side?
Not. Sharon's cutting out.
Sharon, I can hardly hear you anymore.
It's in and out.
You're frozen. Yeah, it's really.
Oh. Sharon, we didn't catch any of that. You were frozen.
She still is. Oh man.
Well, Donda, have you had capital raising experiences either for yourself or raising?
Just for small projects, more like Monique. I haven't even done big projects like Monique's done. I might have been more like for fix and flipping. I brought in, partnered up with people and did private money partners, a PMP, where they got a percentage of the deal once it's sold. I've done ones PMLs where they just bring the money, like Monique was saying, they just bring the money to the deal. They don't really want to do anything. They just want better interest on their money. Like typically, like she said, 10 to 14% interest versus what the bank gives them, 2%. So we do more of that type of stuff right now. And then we have buy and hold, and we did a sub-2 deal with an investor, a PML that brought us the money to stop the foreclosure. And he gave us the money, and the person who's buying it is actually paying them back right now interest only on that money, because their lease option it, and they put money down to be wrapping it as a wrap deal. And so right now they're just paying interest only, and they're getting like 24% interest on the money. So there's some really good money out there. Right. So there's so many different ways, and people just need to, like Monique said, you just kind of need to go out there and ask. And I think, like she said, the self-directed is a really great place for people to start, to put their money into somewhere to figure out how to grow that money into something bigger and better. Yeah. Because out of self-directed, they could do one of these projects. They can do a fix and flip project or be my partner on a deal with their 401k. They don't have to just take it out of their bank account, and always use a title company, go through title and escrow to protect your money. And Anybody still there? Hi, did we lose everybody?
I don't think we're streaming
That was
anymore.
interesting.
Sharon, we lost Sharon, huh?
Yeah.
She tried to jump. Oh, there she
Oh,
is.
there
She's
she
back.
is.
I'm
Hey,
here.
Sharon.
Are we still? Are we
We're
streaming
still
or
live.
not
I'm still
streaming?
recording. We are still streaming.
Okay,
We
good.
lost Sharon. We didn't get to hear what you were saying about your buyers.
I was just saying I just provide a white glove service to my buyers for what I do, and so a lot of my connecting I do to that for them for a deal they've bought a summer, or a deal they've bought and there's a tenant not leaving, they need a that will get the tenant out or anything like that, and so I think that's the difference between that versus a cap raiser specifically is just connecting people with money to people that need money. You know what I mean?
That's a good service to have, though, for your investors.
And I love the way that you explain that as white
Oh, for
glove,
sure.
Sharon, because I think there's so many people that they need that hand holding. They don't, I mean, you talk about, Donda, the fractional, but they're going to get in there and be so confused if they've never been in real estate investing.
Right.
Having somebody like Sharon or you or myself or Kate who know real estate and can guide them, at least the first ones will be so tremendous. Or if they're too busy to be able to take on learning a whole nother language, because it is. I mean, we say some words here that sometimes I'm sure people don't understand, and we may not even explain it all the way that we need to, but it's a whole new language when you're in real estate investing and private capital and raising. And so I love the way you put that white glove service. That's so true. So true. And sometimes you get paid and sometimes you don't.
Exactly. And my customers, like at the end of the day, I get paid anyway.
Right.
Because
Yes.
Yeah, but
Sharon,
I feel
still,
like,
yeah.
still frozen. I feel like some people go into being a connector to get paid, to use that as an active income source. And that is a little bit more like capital raising. And sometimes I don't know what the difference is, right? Because like as a like if I were a connector and I knew somebody with money and Monique, you needed money, I could connect you to and make a fee, maybe like 2% or something, right? But that's also capital raising, right?
Not necessarily. Capital raising, it's a little bit different. Yeah, I mean, just from the classes I've taken with PACE and learning and stuff, it's definitely different. You have to set up your LLCs. There's actually a lot more to it than just that. That's what you described was more of a connector. But even when you connect people, you need to stay in the deal, make sure everything's going good because you brought somebody this and that, and you're like,
yeah,
just make sure, like, let's watch over it and check in every so often, and just know that they can reach out to you if they are having a problem with that person or there's an issue, or maybe you could help clear up some stuff. But yeah, capital raising is definitely different than connecting. You're more trying to get people. You might be a connector trying to bring funds, or somebody's like, I got money, I don't know what to do with it. Well, there's this capital, like PACE has, what's that one he's got, invest with PACE. So like, why didn't you put some money into his deal? He collects it and does the capital raising for apartment buildings and stuff.
And those are the funds.
Those are the funds. Right. That's more of the capital raising. Yeah, funds to fund and stuff. Yeah.
But capital raising can still be referred to just like a fix and flip, like we were talking about, right? If you're doing a fix and flip yourself and you need money, then you still call it capital raising for yourself.
Yeah, I guess in a sense, but typically when people are talking about capital raising, they're trying to raise quite a bit of funds for specific projects, or just a generic fund that they're going to use on multiple projects. So yeah, I mean, I can see where the confusion in that would be. It's where the cutting the line, and stuff. But like for PML, yeah, I put it out there for a deal we're doing. I guess I am raising funds, but they typically say raising capital. They're talking a larger.
Right, maybe with multiple investors into one fund.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, if you're doing a fix and flip, it's usually a PML, private money lender.
Right.
I mean, there's not really, in my opinion, not really a definition. defined line, I guess,
Right.
that I could say. But I think Donda explained it pretty well, the way that
Yeah.
it separates.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
Kate, you said that like multiple people coming into a fund, it's raising capital. So it's usually people coming together. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a larger project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has anybody here either invested in a fund like that or capital raised for one?
I have not. We were going to with Pace's fund, but the one we were going to invest in, he got the money before we invested in it, so he had closed that deal off. So I know Grant Cardone does a lot of it. There's a lot of big investors that are constantly doing that. So, and I think Pace has opened back up. He's got some more deals going on, but we've obviously are doing our own thing.
Into those funds, you have to be
What was that, Sharon?
accredited, and that I think holds people.
Oh, some of them, yeah, you have to be accredited.
Said a lot of times when you invest,
yeah, some funds, you're right, you have to be accredited, and there's a process you have to go to prove that you're accredited for those capital raising deals. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So I've invested in Pace's Sub 2 fund, and then I've also in another fund, a couple funds that I've invested in, and some people that I know have invested in it.
And what kind of returns can you get on those?
You know, I don't want to limit it to it's so there's such a varying.
Varies.
It varies so greatly on the project that it's hard to say this is what you're definitely going to get. It just varies so greatly all the way down to, you can get funds for 4% interest, or you can get it for 24%. I mean, and it doesn't mean that you're always going to get the higher. You're going to, and it's the higher the percentage you're going to get, the more risk is involved. Usually, is the case too. So those who are risk adverse may want to stay with the lower interest, and they're happy with that because otherwise their money is just sitting in the bank not making anything anyways. So they're okay with throwing it just, enough to get a little bit extra in the bank.
Better than 0.5%.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, I'm so sad. I can't even see Sharon anymore, and I've hardly heard anything that you're saying, Sharon.
No, Sharon, and I know you have a world of information to share with us too. You're so great at explaining things in such an amazing way too. So
She is.
She's sad that we don't get to hear your voice. I can see your face, but I can't hear you. You're very, very much so.
Yeah, she's in and out, mostly out. Huh?
Yeah,
You get to see her smile. You get to see her smile.
I get to see her do. Put the reindeer nose on, and we'll call you Rudolph.
Here you go, Sharon.
Oh no, the tongue comes out.
Oh.
Yeah, I was all set to hear about Sharon's experience in capital raising because I know she has some. But,
so, Kate, you haven't really done any capital raising. Then is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I haven't done any capital raising. I just started listening to Pace's courses that I missed when he did them live because I'd love to learn about it. But personally, I'm not really interested in doing funds, but I've been interested in people have told me that I should get into connecting just because I like to talk to people, and so I've been learning a little bit about that. And I bought a fix and flip about a month ago with a partner, and we didn't have our funds in line ahead of time. We just
Kate, you're breaking up. I think you're doing better now, I think, right?
Okay. I don't know. Can you hear me okay?
You sound better now. Yeah.
I don't know how much of that you heard then. Was I just breaking up the whole time?
Well, you talked about getting into Pace's course, and you were just about becoming a connector. That's kind of what I got.
Yeah, I've listened to a little bit of Pace's courses, and it's on my list to watch them and learn about it. But I was also saying that I bought a fix and flip about a month ago with a partner in the owners club, and we just kind of decided on the fly to start doing this. And within a week, we were in escrow on 2 fix and flips, but we didn't have our money lined up, and
Right.
so it was kind of a nightmare trying to raise capital for ourselves. And the private money lender, that was okay. But I feel like because there's so many of them out there, but if you're trying to fund something 100%, right, you have to find the gap funds. And that's what I found very difficult. And we ended up using our own funds for gap funds. And then, like, maybe even 3 weeks down the road, we had somebody reimburse us as a private money partner. They had to be a partner because of laws in Florida. They couldn't be a lender because the interest rate was too high.
Wow.
Yeah. Florida has usury laws. You can't go over 18% annual interest rate.
Huh.
But anyways, I found that just very, very difficult, and learned, and I already kind of knew this, but we were just so excited to buy these fix and flips that we did it. But you definitely want to have those relationships built beforehand is ideal.
Or
It
know
is.
someone like Sharon or Kate or Donda or myself who can put them in the right place.
Like you can share your people that you're using and stuff. And that one we just share because it's like, yeah, we're not using them here. They're looking for a place to put their money.
Yeah.
And it helps you out. And the next time I need help, you help me out, because you'll create and find those people too. So that, like Sharon said, that's more of a white glove where you're working with and helping people just because down the road, it helps you, in other ways. So
Collaboration.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I like that.
I feel like a lot of finding private money for yourself is about timing, right? You might have 50 private money lenders on your list, but
Yeah.
you go to buy something and all of their money is out somewhere else.
Dispersed,
So,
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah. So first on your fix and flip, you got a hard money lender, right? And then you
Yep.
needed the person to fill the gap so that it was no money out of your pocket. Yep. And
Exactly.
that's your private money partner now.
Right.
Yeah.
And even then, it is still some money out of pocket because the construction costs on most loans, you have to pay those yourself first and then get reimbursed.
Yeah.
Right.
I try to use lenders that will actually give you some of the money up front, a percentage, the hard money.
Yeah.
There's hard money lenders that will give you it up as like 20 grand to get you started. Also, when you do your sheets, try to like your demo cost, up those beginning costs that you pay that. Plus you got an extra 1,000 or 2,000 out ready to go onto whatever else you're doing. So you always like to pad that the beginning, like what are the first things we're going to be doing? Well, add your cost, even though if you break it down how it should be, and then you're like, okay, I'm going to take some of this money from the end project, like the trim work. That one's 2,000. Well, I'm going to say it's 1,000. I'm going to put 1,000 of it up here in the demo cost. And I'm going to kind of move your money around, though your numbers will come out right for your project because you've already did your initial breakdown, but then you have that cushion at the beginning. So that'll help you also. Less money out of your pocket.
I'm going to have to get some of those lenders' names from you, Donda.
Yes, definitely.
And a big reason that we don't want to have money out of our pocket because the next project comes on and we need our funds available for that project or for the next project or for the next project, because we always have something, it seems like, coming on, that if we have all of our money tied up in a project, then something really great comes, we don't have that funding available. So hence, having those private money lenders that have the funding to put it into, we leave our money available now to just jump into something that we need. Like you had to do, Kate. You guys had to come up with the money or you would lose the project. So you had that available. Fortunately, it wasn't in a project. It wasn't tied up. But I've ran into that a couple of times too. My money's tied up. It's like, oh, guess I gotta wait for that.
Sharon looks like she might be able to
participate. Are you back, Sharon? You're like an Italian tonight, just talking with your hands.
For some reason, when you're talking, Sharon, you don't sound like, we can hear you talking a little bit, but it's so quiet and broken. I don't know if you can turn your mic up, maybe. That will help.
Well, the broken I don't think would help. The
Oh,
mic
that's
is
good.
right here. Volume's up.
The volume
That's
sounds better.
Uh,
Yeah. Well, we'll let her talk while she
I just
can. I
adjusted
think
something
Yeah,
else.
yeah. Talk, Sharon.
on your raising capital
Put me on the
experiences, Sharon.
spot, girl. Jeez.
You flourish in that area.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Yeah.
Oh, man.
And now I'm down. So I mean, I don't know. I agree with everything that you were saying, and yeah, trying to keep our money in our own pocket just so it's available when the next deal comes and is like I can jump on it is such a powerful thing. I have missed so many deals in the last 1 year because I tied my capital up in projects based on a partner that then bailed on me. And so now I'm like stuck. I'm like, and I've seen all these projects come by. I'm like, no, I want to do that. No, I want to do that. It's been a nightmare. But yeah, it's been that. I agree with what you're saying, Monique. It's so important to be able to find people that can come in and do exactly what Kate was saying and basically buy us out, right? Buy that piece out, buy
Yeah.
into our project to reimburse us from what we've put out, so that we have stuff for the next project and can keep rolling and keep going, you know. And so all of that is great.
And she's
I'm
gone.
not sure what else.
I know. It's like, is she
on the
done
spot
talking
now
or
that
is she
I can
just
talk.
close again?
Waiting.
That's what happens when we
So,
travel. You never know if
anyway.
your connection's going to be good wherever you are.
yeah.
Sharon's like, yeah.
Oh,
That
Sharon.
was good. Oh, man.
That's okay. You girls keep you're doing great without me.
Oh,
I
well,
think we lost Kate. Now she's frozen.
oh, she is. What's going
Yep.
on, right?
Kate's was announced.
Just a night, isn't
That's
it?
okay. We're going in a circle.
Yep, she's gone.
Except not Monique and not Donna. You girls are doing great.
I think I'm the only one not traveling, so that's
I'm sure.
Yeah,
That's
we're both in
interesting
Washington State. Maybe
See,
there's.
Yeah.
you're at home base.
it's to Washington State.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We totally.
Guess y'all got to come
That's
up here.
it. You're both in Washington. That's
Not very
right.
close together,
Well,
though.
I'll
We're
be there
about 4
actually in a
hours
couple
No.
months.
or longer.
No, we're a few hours apart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
What else?
Well, what else can we possibly like if we have someone that's watching that sees our show and wants to learn more about what we're doing and how they can work with us for funds, so like they have funds available that they want to invest at higher than 0.5% on in a bank account or at whatever, they have a 401k at work and it sucks or whatever. How can they talk with us? How can they with us? Monique, how about you?
Ooh.
I think she asked you how they can connect with you, Monique, to see what deals you have going on if they want to invest with you.
I think the best way for each one of us even is to go through our channels with YouTube or our email or the wholesale Instagram. So Monique Fell, you can find me anywhere, Monique Fell, with my Facebook, my Instagram, my YouTube channels, all the same. So anybody can reach out with a DM or a message to me. Instagram is probably one of the better aspects, or Facebook, a DM through Facebook or Instagram, and just let me know, hey, I'd like to know more about this, and then I can get you guys, whoever is interested, I can get you connected with a self-directed IRA or a project, whatever you're looking for. Kind of, I like to talk to the people that I'm working with and find out what are your aspirations and what do you want to accomplish, and understand the whole gist of your picture of what you're looking for before I just say, oh, just do this, because it's important, I think, to make sure that you're going to be happy and that you don't just aren't investing in something that, like, oh, this wasn't for me type of thing, and being able to understand you as a person and your long-term goals in order to direct you in the right direction. Ultimately, it's your decision, but being able to talk with you and get more vet the situation and what you're trying to accomplish and your goals is important.
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna say,
And I think
Sharon, Donna, to you is your Instagram, and we all work together too, so we can all synergistically work together through, you get a hold of one of us in Instagram or in YouTube or the Wholesale Hotties right here where you're at right now. You're more than welcome to leave a message and we'll get back to you.
Yeah.
Right. And we're all investing in different areas too, right? So Monique, you're out in Washington. Donda, you're out in Arizona. Kate is mostly Florida. I'm investing in Virginia, DC, Maryland, West Virginia areas. So that's helpful too. Different people in those areas, for people to different things.
Well, we also have people that are in our world that invest pretty much any place around the United States that's of interest, that we have boots on the ground. We have people that are investing that we trust and believe in and know that they're good operators that we can also plug into.
Right. 100%. Yep.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm at help,
and we can make that connection.
Yeah, my Instagram's Help Me Donda. Monique Fell. And then Sharon, you're Sharon Lee Smith, right?
Sharon Lee Smith.
Yeah.
It's in the description.
And then we also have
and then we have Kate, and we have Angie too, who's not able to make it. She's on a date with her husband tonight after the holidays. I think they're trying to just have some one-on-one time, because they're going all the time, and they always have their office parties and all that kind of stuff they're doing for everybody that works with them. So yeah, and they're in Denver, Colorado. So if you need anybody there, reach out to them. Yeah, they're great also. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, ladies, is there anything else we want to cover tonight? I know, that's hard for me because I'm choppy. But what else? What can we talk about for to go and the world as we're winding the year down? I know one thing I wanted to, if hopefully my signal stays intact. Wanted to remind everyone, beneficial interest report for FinCEN is due by the end of the year, and then
the what?
Adopt the requirement, and that was lifted to.
Oh man, she's breaking up again.
A report.
Yeah, Sharon, we all lost you. We missed all that, and it sounded like it was really good information. I
think you were talking about the report that we all are required to file, supposedly at the end of the year. That was changed because Texas came in and said, okay, now you don't have to.
Texas. Yay, Texas.
Then another, the feds, I think, came in and said, no, we're going to override that. And you do have to, but then they gave extra days, I think until, and I'm not 100%, the 15th. They have till, 15th.
He's like,
we're playing straight, by the way, right now. So we have till the 15th, I believe, to file, but there are a lot of people that are holding out hope that Trump is going to be able to, well, I don't know if it'll be a time for Trump, but maybe, but somebody will come in.
It doesn't get in until the 20th.
Right. So somebody will ride in, and that's why it's the 15th and not the 20th. They'll ride in with their white horse and save the day, and we won't have to have that reporting. So there are people holding out. They're waiting. Something could overturn that, and there are people out there that are trying right now to overturn that. So you're taking your chance. Some of us will. Some of us won't. Some live in the black. Some live in the white. Some live in the gray. It kind of depends on where you're the most comfortable. You want to report. You want to wait and see what happens. Because first of all, if there's 100,000 people or better, 1 million people that are not reporting yet, they can only, tackle so many people at one time. And by then, maybe things will be overturned, kind of like the ERC credits that half the people got, half of them didn't, and then there was a big fight, and now they're back giving it away, and now they're fighting everybody and having to get attorneys to say, no, you gave it to them, I get it to you, I'm legal. So I know that came a little bit much, but we're sorry you can't hear, because we're just trying to read your mind right now.
I know, but you did a good job, Monique. I think Karen's like, she's that's what
Oh no.
Oh man. Well,
and I'm mostly Italian, but I'm part Scottish, so I'm channeling my inner William Wallace and like, oh.
There you go. And we completely lost Kate. So
yeah. Well, maybe next week we'll have better luck because
yeah. Well, Donda, I think that while we have, I mean, I don't know that everybody wants to hear this, but we should get together while you're here in Washington. Although I'm going to be going to Arizona at some point in time this next year, and we're all going to Texas in March, which will be fun, and we'll be able to hang out and hopefully do our podcast. Oh, and that was another thing that
would be fun. Live all together. Yeah, I like that idea.
Live. We could do the round table live in Texas with our other group of people that the male gender that we are talking to, and see how that works out. But we definitely want to bring more and more to the table for our group here and everybody who's listening. We have so much greatness that we have coming down the road. And so keep staying tuned, keep talking to us and listening to us, because you're just going to see things get better and better and explode here. That if you're interested in real estate investing, real estate fix and flips, or wholesales, or raising capital, or whatever that might look like, or just in general, businesses, running businesses, we have a lot that we're going to be bringing to the table here for you all to learn and grow your own lives and your own future and your own goals. And hopefully you will get some piece of nuggets and gold through each conversation that we have. So definitely keep coming back and keep listening to us.
Yes. That was well said, Monique. Very well said.
Thank you.
Well said. And on that note, I think that's the perfect time to end our stream for tonight, because we're almost out. So I'm going to say good night. I hope y'all can hear.
We can.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah. Happy New Year's.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to all our watchers. Thank you for
Monique and I were the only ones that were still on there. We lost them.
That was a stretch for me, you guys. That's not my thing.
Why? You did so good.
Oh my gosh, you guys were challenging me tonight. It's like, okay,
Lord, it's not my forte.
You better be there. You better be my mouth tonight, because I was gonna.
You did great.
First off, you called on me first.
Sure, that was Sharon.
And then he was asking me a bunch of questions, and it's like, oh, I'm leading this tonight. I wasn't prepared for this.
I was like, I didn't think we were attacking anybody tonight, but poor Monique.
No. I was just flying by the seat of my pants of things I've heard. And we all know it's not my forte, but you know what? Sometimes you pivot because you're put in that position.
What case would be proud of you, because you
if you
took it.
You give me that